5 years, 17,000 members, 5 chapters, 1 community.
Being a part of Educators for Excellence for me has made me feel like I am part of something beyond my classroom.
It means going outside of my classroom walls to advocate for my students.
I can now be a part of that group to put faces to those people who make those policies and possibly interact with those people to try to change things that might not be going well in my school community.
Policy decisions affecting classrooms have been made without critical voices at the table, the voices of classroom teachers.
E4E started at PS 86 where both Sydney and I taught, and it really came out of our shared experiences in the classroom. We both absolutely loved our day-to-day work with students, and at the same time felt very disempowered in the broader conversation that was happening around education.
We were a group of teachers from across New York City who were coming together to talk about the frustrations that we felt.
Underlying all of their frustrations was this common thread of teachers saying they didn't have a voice in the system.
I remember the very first meeting of E4E when a group of about a dozen teachers got together and we said, what's the kind of change that we want to create together?
From that point, we went back to our schools and started asking our colleagues to join us. Quickly, we became a few dozen and now thousands of teachers across the country.
Today, through this movement, E4E members are working across the country to elevate teacher voice. Since 2010, E4E New York teachers have worked toward making teacher evaluations more than just satisfactory or unsatisfactory.
My name is Natalie Harrington and I taught high school English. When I was teaching, the only rating options were satisfactory and unsatisfactory. So I joined my fellow E4E teachers to advocate for an evaluation system with multiple levels that would give more specific feedback and promote growth and improvement of practice. Through our advocacy work, the state passed a multi-measured evaluation system in 2013. In 2015, the governor proposed changes that would make tests count for 50% of teachers' evaluations. E4E New York teachers immediately proposed an alternate, more balanced framework.
Addressing the problems facing our public schools starts with learning from and replicating the innovative solutions educators are using every day. To do this, E4E Los Angeles members and staff set out to identify the best practices driving student growth within Los Angeles schools. To make this happen, E4E visited dozens of schools that grew more than 40 points in achievement according to the state's Academic Performance Index, the API. In these visits, it became clear that there were common success factors, such as establishing a strong school culture, using data effectively, and collaborating. These factors have been compiled each year into the annual True Grit Report, which has featured over 60 schools and feedback from over 700 teachers. The reports have been shared with school, district, union, community, and academic leaders in and around Los Angeles, inspiring conversations between policymakers and educators.
I think with the True Grit report, it really can leverage a lot of educators because it puts them at the table to provide the strategies for what schools can do to improve and to be better.
In Minnesota, E4E teachers recently saw the passage of ideas advanced by 2 E4E teacher policy teams on quality compensation and teacher diversity. Shortly after the founding of E4E Minnesota in 2013, E4E teachers researched and mobilized around opportunities from the state's Quality Compensation, or QComp, program to encourage more teachers to work in hard-to-staff schools. A year later, another teacher policy team took on the issue of teacher diversity.
As a Hispanic teacher and a teacher of color, it's really important for me to give my students an opportunity to see themselves represented in role models in their lives.
By spring 2015, E4E teachers and staff were at the state capitol, meeting with lawmakers and advocating for ideas that were passed in June 2015 for the Minnesota state budget.
As a result of our work, we were able to get 3 legislative goals passed by the state legislature, including more flexibility for quality compensation dollars at hard-to-staff schools, streamlining the process for out-of-state teachers to become Minnesota teachers, and ensuring that all teacher prep programs are held accountable.
E4E teachers in Bridgeport, Connecticut found that the district's current model of professional development simply didn't meet the needs of Bridgeport's knowledgeable teachers. So they formed an E4E Teacher Action Team to address what quality professional development should look like and presented a set of recommendations to the superintendent. By spring 2015, Bridgeport Public Schools had made substantial changes to PD, reflecting calls from E4E teachers. The district created an online platform for teachers to select their own PD sessions, enabled teachers to plan ahead by choosing PD sessions for the school year, and gave teachers the opportunity to lead PD sessions for other teachers. And in Chicago, the newest E4E chapter, teachers have worked to mobilize a membership of over 800 teachers around improving professional development in Chicago public schools. In March 2015, teachers selected the issue of professional development as a core area of improvement, then worked together in a teacher action team to write recommendations on ways to improve the vision, accessibility, accountability, and teacher voice of PD within the district. These are just some of the issues E4E teachers have been working on in each community, and our work to elevate teaching and improve students' lives is far from over.
We are proud of the work we've accomplished in 5 short years. Proud to call over 17,000 members across the country our colleagues in empowering the teaching profession. Proud to show what teacher leadership can look like in schools, districts, unions, and states across the country.
It's been an incredible experience to work with passionate, invested, engaged, and excited educators every single week about policy that really matters.
As teachers, we shouldn't feel like we're alone.
As leaders in our classrooms, we should have a voice in the decisions made on behalf of our students and our schools.
Learn about the decisions and policies that impact your profession and your work.
Build a network of colleagues who support you.
Take action to make sure your voice is reflected in those decisions.